It's been good. I mean, we had an off day yesterday, but they came out today and looked sharp. We lifted them this morning, and good meetings, and a couple guys that are questionable about being healthy enough to play. A couple of them look pretty good. To only be Tuesday of game week, so I'm encouraged by that.
I know you hadn't made a decision on Caleb yesterday. Any change to his status at this point?
No, sir.
What circumstances do you take into account when you're making a decision like that?
I think every situation we look at individually. To be honest, I mean everything's a little bit different, and we got good kids on this team, and we've got good culture, a lot of good mileage with a lot of guys, and I don't make hasty decisions. I like to make sure that you get all your information, and I like to call some different head coaches that have been doing it a long time and get their perspective on things and their team. But in the end, it's internally as a family with every situation. That's how we deal with it. Coaches, players, any kind of adversity. It's we kind of approach it that way.
And you spoke in the camp about Jaden Muskrat being a key. We didn't see him on the depth chart. Do you expect him to factor into the rotation at some point?
Yeah, he's not going to make the trip this week. Hopefully week 2.
Is that because of an injury?
Yeah. Fair question.
But you've mentioned that you're really high on some of these freshmen, redshirt freshmen. How much are you going to have to lean on those guys?
Yeah, hopefully not too much yet. You want to continue to bring these guys along, but Snook and Knowledge and JoJo and Deloach and these guys are doing some good things. So we'll see where it gets, but I don't know that outside of maybe 1 or 2 of them, is there a plan to play them on offense or defense? We'll see. Right now when you get these 4 games in regular season, you want to make sure you use them on those guys, and even if you get a couple games out of a guy early and then hold 2, till later to see what happens, so we're navigating all that. But we got some freshmen that can help us in some areas, and they will over the course of the season.
We asked you about Rumack yesterday, but on the other side, Lath, what is your comfort level with him, and what have you seen from him in camp? Yeah,
Lath has done well. He's grown up a ton. His commitment and his seriousness about football has really, it's where it needs to be. So he's getting better at a better rate. He's got to clean a couple things up still. He's really like a redshirt freshman out there, with the situation he was in. So, but he's much improved. We tried to go with him last year, if you remember, out the gate, and just didn't get it done. And he's certainly a much better player right now.
On the depth chart, you have Arius Nash listed as a defensive end. Was that always the plan with him, or is that something that's kind of evolved?
That's a great question. He's a tweener, and he was a little undersized to play inside against the run, but his pass rush was nice. I think he's a guy that can move around from week to week based on our needs and who we're playing against. He's smart, he's experienced, he's got a skill set. I think he's going to help us.
Dandy and Stevens and Abby are some of these young ends that you guys have kind of recruited and developed. How do you feel about those guys? Obviously, they're behind some experienced guys.
Yeah, they are. And, we went out and got some older kids older young men to back up the starters. But these guys are coming, particularly all 3 of them I'm excited about. I'd say Asen and Abby are both in a position to play, whereas Derek isn't really in the rotation right now, but that does a lot of good things. I mean, you'll see Asen and Abby in this ball game.
How much did it help that those 2 got reps and many reps last year?
That's right. It does help them. Yeah. I'm excited about both those guys. They're going to be good football players here.
Do you feel like you have some good options in the kick return game? I know there wasn't one designated there, but kind of
I do.
Interesting group of guys.
Yeah, PJ's done some things back there, but when you look at what T. Will's done and his speed, I think we've got 4 or 5 candidates back there that Cam Selden, 8. I mean, there's just several guys that have worked at it, and I think we're Tyler Mason, explosive in space and fast. So it's good. We're going to give a couple guys an opportunity back there.
This is a unique atmosphere at NFL Stadium. Probably pretty loud in a dome. Do you have to do anything during the week to prepare for?
Yeah, we have. We've played crowd noise a bunch and worked on some cadences and just being able to handle it. If we know it's going to be loud, if it's louder than expected, we should be ready for that.
Are you expecting or hoping a 50-50 crowd, or is it
That'd be
a little bit
awesome.
closer to South Carolina than here?
Yeah, I think it's a little easier for their fan base than for ours, but I know we'll have a good turnout.
Well, special teams, Nick is kind of the only newcomer
Yep.
there, but he's obviously been in the program. What's your feel on him and how he's done in preseason camp?
Yeah, Nick has always had a really strong leg and has always impressed us with some boomers. But he's always had that shank about every fourth or fifth kick, And this last 2 mini camps, I had to compliment him because there wasn't a shank, and he hit some really good punts. We're fortunate we got this indoor facility that you can kick in. I mean, you very, 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 very seldom do we hit the rafters, but he is booming those things, and it's like you said, he's a first-year starter, but he's a veteran. He's been around a long time, and I'm excited for him. I think he's going to go out and. I don't know that he'll play perfect, particularly in the first game, but he's going to do some good things for us.
You guys have that TrackMan system.
Yeah.
Now, do you jump in there at all? You kind of leave that to Stu to take a look at. It's like a golf swing almost.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was very impressed with the presentation from the group that is providing this for us. And the kickers are the ones that came to us first because they've had access to it in camps and different things. They've got buddies in the industry that have it in their program, and so it's been about a month or two that this has been going on. And after I got around it and learned more about it, and it just made really good sense for us.
In terms of Nick as the holder, I mean, he's obviously replacing Pete, who did it for a really long time. It's been pretty seamless there.
Yeah, he's been good. Yeah, Nick's again, he's an older guy. He's got experience and he's a pretty good athlete, to be honest.
Coach, 14 defensive linemen on the depth chart. How many of those guys could we realistically see on Sunday?
Hey, man, if we can roll three units out there, we will. I believe in depth on the front and rolling guys and playing dudes up there to keep that first group ready to go. So when you're in that fourth quarter, they can play. We've got the most depth we've had on the defensive line.
Isaiah Spencer is one of the guys listed at punt return. What do you like about what he might be able to provide?
Yeah, he's gotten better and better this entire camp. Pretty raw when he got here, but a good talent. He's a worker. He's coachable. He wasn't doing a great job early in camp finishing. I don't know if he wasn't taught to do that, or he'd catch a ball and he'd kind of glide and he'd come up. He wouldn't turn up. He wouldn't knife. He wouldn't. And I mean, we talked to him about it for a day or two, and man, he has fixed it. And now he's one of the guys finishing the best. So. He's coachable. He's got really good talent. He's smooth, good ball skills. I like what he's bringing, and honestly, he's just going to get better and better. He's one of those guys that has still got a ways to go to reach his potential.
You guys good?
Good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.